Hello and welcome back to the Movie Memo Recaps. Today we are going to recap a 1987 movie titled 3 O'Clock High. Please be advised that there will be spoilers ahead. The story opens with a high school student named Jerry Mitchell waking up late, and at that time, Jerry wakes up because his sister, Jessie, wakes him up. Jerry did not take a shower because he awoke late that day and quickly put on his favorite shirt. But the shirt hasn't dried yet, so Jerry places it in the microwave. Jerry put on the shirt when it had dried and drove to school in his mother's car because his own had a flat tire. On the way, Jerry picks up his girlfriend, Franny. While Franny was conversing with Jerry, a lovely girl named Karen came by. Jerry is captivated by Karen's beauty and stares at her without regard for his fiancée. Jerry ran a red light while staring at Karen. But, luckily, Jerry was able to dodge fast and avoid being hit by another automobile. Franny was amazed by Jerry because her boyfriend was an excellent driver. At school, all of the pupils are talking about the delinquent student who recently transferred to their school. That student's name is Buddy Revell. Buddy Revell is widely known and dreaded by all pupils at any school due to his cruelty. Even now, no kid has been able to defeat Buddy since he is an excellent fighter. Jerry's sister mentioned Buddy Revell, as did the other students. Buddy Revell arrived at school unexpectedly, which astounded Jerry and the other students because Buddy was quite frightening. He did not look like a student, but rather like a gangster. Jerry, a model student at the time, was entrusted with managing the school's bookstore. He informed Mr. Alex that he had received $470 this week. Karen arrived to buy books and pens after Mr. Alex had departed. Jerry likes Karen, so he buys time by offering her another book, allowing him to have a long conversation with her. But, regrettably, when Jerry was going to take change, the cash drawer was locked and could not be accessed. Jerry felt ashamed until Karen eventually gave him the change. Jerry met his best friend, Vincent, just before starting class. Vincent urged Jerry to approach Buddy and write an essay about his life story for publication in the newspaper. Vincent did this because Buddy has a perfect record in fights, meaning he has never lost. He also broke the necks of a few students. While in class, a teacher named Mary informs her students that she and Vincent have decided to have Jerry perform and greet Buddy. Jerry, upon hearing this, quickly requested permission to use the restroom because he did not want to. Jerry encountered Buddy by mistake while at the toilet, and he foolishly greeted Buddy, who was a quiet person. Jerry even told Buddy that he wanted to interview and write his life biography. After that, Jerry confidently patted Buddy's arm, which enraged Buddy because he didn't want anyone touching him. Buddy instantly lifted up and cornered Jerry, claiming that he did not want to be questioned since he did not want anyone to know his life story. Because Jerry dared to disrupt Buddy's life. Then Buddy challenged Jerry to a duel at 3 p.m. in the parking lot. If Jerry ventured to tell the teacher, Buddy would not hesitate to escalate the situation. And if Jerry flees, Buddy will pursue him. Jerry was terrified after hearing Buddy's statements and peed in his pants. After that, Jerry informed Vincent and Franny. Jerry informed them that, despite Buddy's request, he would not fight him. Then Jerry approached Buddy. Jerry refused to fight Buddy and promised never to write about Buddy's life story or touch his hand again. Even though Jerry stated that Buddy had requested him to fight at 3 p.m. and it turns out that Buddy's statements were heard by the other students present. Vincent did not want his best friend to be beaten by Buddy. So he put a knife in Buddy's locker to have him kicked out of school. However, after placing the knife in Buddy's locker, Jerry instructed Vincent to retrieve it. Because Vincent's actions have the potential to aggravate Buddy's feelings toward Jerry. Unfortunately, just as Vincent was ready to return the knife, the recess bell rang, which terrified Jerry. Jerry was terrified that day, so he ran away. When Jerry gets into the automobile, he is surprised to find the knife Vincent kept in Buddy's locker on the steering wheel. Jerry also discovered a piece of paper stating that he would be unable to escape and that he would be forced to wait for Buddy in the parking lot at 3 p.m. When Jerry found out about it, he recognized it was Buddy's fault. When Jerry tries to start his automobile and flees, it fails because Buddy has severed the ignition cable. Even if the car won't start, Jerry decides to keep running. Unfortunately, Jerry was captured by a bald school security guy named Duke. Jerry attempted to deceive by claiming that he would get a mechanic because his automobile had broken down. But Duke said that if Jerry genuinely wanted to leave, why didn't he first ask the teacher for permission? Jerry then stated that he would immediately seek permission from his teacher. Duke meant to join Jerry at the time, but Jerry, who wanted to flee, denied Duke's offer, and Duke eventually pursued him. Jerry was apprehended as a result of his negligent acts, and Duke once again discovered a knife in Jerry's trouser pocket. Jerry was apprehended, and Duke confiscated the knife right away. Jerry tries to explain that the knife isn't his. Aside from that, Jerry presented a piece of paper conveying Buddy's terror against him. However, Duke, in order to make a fool of himself in front of the principal, discards the paper and brings Jerry to the office of Mr. Dolinsky, the Dean of Discipline. Mr. Dolinsky then inquires as to what Jerry intends to do with the switchblade. Because he was frightened of being penalized, Jerry stated the truth. The switchblade did not belong to him, but to Vincent, who purposefully placed it in Buddy's locker to get him kicked out of school. Buddy knows this and places the switchblade on Jerry's steering wheel, along with a piece of paper containing threats, and invites to fight at 3 p.m. in the parking lot. Mr. Dolinsky did not accept Jerry's claim and thought that Jerry would surreptitiously murder a student. Mr. Dolinsky adds that he will now keep a watch on Jerry to ensure that his ideas fail. After leaving Mr. Dolinsky's room, Jerry encountered Jason, a student. Jason asks Jerry to stand strong against Buddy for 3 minutes since he has a bet with his friends. Jerry became emotional after hearing this and planned to punch Jason, but Vincent intervened. Jerry then requested Vincent to find out where Craig was. Jerry also requested Vincent to ring a phony bell so that he could meet Craig. Vincent ignited a fake bell when Jerry was already in class, causing Jerry and the other pupils to leave. Jerry eventually discovered Craig's whereabouts after looking everywhere. Jerry instantly approached him. Jerry claims that he desperately needs Craig's assistance, thus Buddy Rebel does not want him to fight. Craig immediately responded that he was willing to help Jerry for a cost of $450. Jerry consented right away since he didn't want Buddy to beat him up. And because Jerry didn't have enough money, he was frantic to enter the bookstore and planned to steal it. However, because the cash drawer was locked, Jerry found it impossible to open, so he attempted other methods. Jerry was finally able to open the lock after a lot of effort and mess. Jerry didn't think about it because his head was a jumble, so he took the money and left right away. At the same time, you can see Mr. Dolinsky saying that all pupils should return to class because the previous bell was phony. But, before entering class, Jerry gave Craig money as payment for knocking up Buddy. While Jerry was in class, Mr. Alex called him and took him to the bookstore. Mr. Alex stated that the place was disorganized and that someone stole the money. At the moment, Mr. Alex was enraged and stated that whomever had the audacity to do so would not hesitate to dismiss from school. Jerry shivered as he agreed. Mr. Alex is unaware that the student who took the money is Jerry, the model student in whom he has always trusted. At noon, Jerry and Vincent noticed Craig approaching Buddy. Craig, a macho man, did not punch Buddy immediately away. However, he warned Buddy ahead of time that Buddy would no longer be able to challenge Jerry to a duel because Jerry was no match for him. But, without saying anything, vicious Buddy shattered Craig's fingers and beat him till he was in severe pain. When Jerry saw this, he became terrified and ran to the bathroom. Jerry sat down limply, and shortly after, Vincent and Jerry's sister arrived. Vincent informs Jerry that Craig refunded his money after his attempt to stop Buddy failed. But, out of empathy, Vincent offered Craig $100. Jerry chastised Vincent for stealing the money from the bookstore. When Vincent saw Jerry's anger, he dropped the money and departed. After Vincent leaves, Jessie tells her brother not to fight Buddy and suggests Jerry go. But Jerry responded that he couldn't flee since he was being watched by Mr. Dolinsky because he had been found carrying Vincent's dagger. Knowing this, Jessie directs Jerry to cause disturbance in class so that he is reprimanded and does not leave during school hours, allowing Jerry to avoid Buddy's challenge. Jerry relaxed a little when he realized his sister's notion made sense. Then, in class, there came a stunning instructor named Miss Farmer. She asked one of her students to come to the front of the class and explain the textbook they had just finished. Jerry appeared to be less shy than he had been previously. Jerry confidently moved forward and took his friend's cigarette. While smoking, Jerry remarked that the book he had just read was excellent, thus it opened his mind and allowed him to see the future clearly. After explaining the novel, Jerry bravely kissed Miss Farmer in front of the other students. Miss Farmer was understandably taken aback by this. And when Jerry's sanity returned, he was terrified of what he had done. He immediately fainted. When Jerry awoke, he was already in the treatment room. Jerry then asked the nurse if Miss Farmer had left a message for him to come visit her because he had been nasty to her previously. However, the nurse stated that Miss Farmer was not discussing any punishment for Jerry. Miss Farmer even commended Jerry's explanation of the textbook as excellent. Apart from that, Miss Farmer left her phone number for Jerry and invited him to her place tonight. Jerry was pleased to hear it, but he was also annoyed because his attempts to dodge Buddy's challenge had failed. After leaving the treatment room, Jerry encounters Karen, the lady he has always desired. After learning that Jerry dared to kiss Miss Farmer in class, Karen, who secretly adores Jerry, feels more confidence in accepting Jerry's affection. Karen also asked Jerry to attend her birthday party, which will be held tomorrow night. Of course, Jerry was overjoyed and accepted it right away. Meanwhile, Franny, Jerry's girlfriend, learns that he kissed Miss Farmer in class. Franny invites Jerry to meet in the bookshop and requests that he kiss her so that he does not resort to other women. However, Jerry refuses, which upsets Franny. Here it is shown that Jerry has not truly loved Franny and has merely used her when he is lonely. After Franny left, Mr. Alex arrived with a police officer named Stallone to examine the missing money at the bookstore. At the time, Stallone informed Jerry that he felt the culprit was not another student, but the one in charge of the business. Jerry was terrified when he realized Stallone already knew what he was doing and requested permission to leave right away. Buddy asked Jerry for a cheat sheet during a math test. Jerry was obliged to reveal the solution due to his fear. Unfortunately, their acts were discovered by their teacher, Mr. Bobby. Then Mr. Bobby directed them both to confront Mr. Marcus. Because Jerry was terrified of Buddy, he was forced to cover up Buddy's error by informing Mr. Marcus that he had cheated on Buddy. Mr. Marcus, a thorough instructor, is skeptical when he hears Jerry's confession. So, to test the truth, Mr. Marcus offered Buddy 2 questions to fill out, and Buddy accurately answered both of them. Jerry felt cheated since Buddy appeared to be able to fill in all of the answers on the test, and Buddy purposefully urged Jerry to cheat in order to frame him, so Jerry would be deemed a delinquent and despised by all of the teachers at school. After Buddy left, Mr. Marcus expressed his disappointment in Jerry because he did not anticipate Jerry, who had been complimented thus far, to swindle Buddy, who had been working hard to come up with an answer. Mr. Marcus is unaware that Buddy purposefully framed Jerry. But Jerry can't do anything because he confesses to cheating. Mr. Marcus then revealed that he was aware of the missing money case at the bookshop, as well as Jerry secretly carrying a knife with the intent to harm other students. As a result, Mr. Marcus will now be supervising Jerry, who has become a wayward student. Because Jerry does not want to fight Buddy, he gives him $350 on the condition that Buddy never invites Jerry to fight. And because the $350 note was quite huge, Buddy eventually took it. But, before departing, Buddy stated Jerry was a coward since he gave up before even trying. After some thought, Jerry understood that what Buddy had stated was true. Why did he give up before attempting it? Jerry's boldness increased quickly as he realized this. He approached Buddy again and stated that he now accepts Buddy's challenge. Jerry approached the class with an impolite attitude. Then he took his book and walked straight out, unconcerned about Mr. Bobby. Jerry stepped out to the parking lot, full of bravado, after putting his book in the locker. Buddy was waiting for him there. Jerry arrived to find that all of his school's kids had gathered to see him and Buddy fight. Mr. Marcus, on the other hand, knows Jerry and Buddy will fight and arrives at the parking lot with the intention of taking Jerry home. When Buddy refused to wait in his office, Mr. Marcus took Buddy's hand and led him to his office. But this enraged Buddy, who did not want to be touched, and he quickly beat Mr. Marcus until he fainted. Jerry was shocked to see Mr. Marcus getting smacked once and then fainting. Franny, who does not want Buddy to beat Jerry up, challenges Buddy to a duel with her. Buddy easily throws Franny. Jerry then struck Buddy from behind. Unfortunately, Buddy manages to throw Jerry onto the automobile. Just then, Mr. Dolinsky and Duke arrived, and Duke, on a whim, wants to capture Buddy. This caused the furious Buddy to immediately beat Duke and render him unconscious. Mr. Dolinsky fled in terror, while Jerry, who had been flung on the automobile, stood up and resumed his stance, preparing to beat Buddy. Jerry used the martial arts his father taught him as a child to smack Buddy's nose so hard that it bled. Buddy counterattacked, causing Jerry to tumble. Fortunately, when Buddy was about to beat Jerry up, Vincent stepped in to stop him. Until Buddy's iron ring fell, and Jessie scooped it up and handed it to her brother. Buddy, who is infuriated, fights Vincent back. Jerry used a rivet to attack Buddy, causing him to fall. Then, unexpectedly, Franny kisses Jerry. Shortly thereafter, Stallone and 2 of his men arrived. Buddy got away from the cops as they were going to arrest him. Then Stallone, who was certain that Jerry had stolen money from the bookstore, planned to interrogate him, but Mr. Marcus, who felt terrible for Jerry, stopped him. Jerry, he claims, is currently dealing with numerous issues. The next day, numerous students approached Jerry, impressed by his bravery against Buddy. Just then, the students, including Jason, gave Jerry money to assist him regain the money he stole from the bookstore. Buddy arrived unexpectedly when they were engaged giving Jerry money. This quickly silenced them. Jerry shuddered with horror as Buddy approached him, knowing that he had won the fight the day before thanks to Vincent and his younger sister. But, fortunately, Buddy did not defeat Jerry here. Buddy actually returned the money Jerry had given him yesterday. Of course, Jerry felt relieved, especially when he noticed Buddy smiling at him. Karen arrives shortly after that and invites Jerry to her birthday celebration later that night. Because on her birthday, Karen will receive Jerry's affection. Jerry felt really thrilled after hearing that, despite of Franny's thoughts. Then, Miss Farmer, who had grown to adore Jerry, stepped up and kissed him in front of the other students, leaving Jerry's friends incredulous. Miss Farmer likes him, but Jerry prefers Karen because they are the same age. Franny eventually gave up Jerry to date Karen. Thank you for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.